And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2, of course, of the Thunderdog Esports.com Team League matchup here between IvD and iGx. This is, of course, game number 2, game number 1 going in the favor of IvD. And certainly, as you can see down at the bottom of the screen, this is a best of 5 between these two teams. Of course, up on the top left-hand corner, check them out, IvDgaming.com. Of course, it is Warbio, and this is actually Marcus was one of our developers, and he is going to be pitching in as the Orange Zerg. Down in the bottom right-hand corner from iGx, of course, that is Imperative Gaming. Check them out, imperativegaming.wordpress.com, and it is going to be Graphix. So a little ZvZ action, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, my name is Nightshade from IvD, and I will be your caster for the day. Of course, we do see the usual, the Overlords heading on out, or the slow Overlords, depending on your perspective. Things not moving too quickly for these guys, but I mean, of course, they did get a speed buff a little while back, and of course, they're still continuing to do that. The scouting potential of these units is actually quite impressive, and you'll find that pro gamers, as well as including IvD members, but of course, like Scarlet and such, will position these little buggers all over the map, and any good player will try and hunt these little buggers down, and of course, supply block their opponent. Now, a little bit of a drone scout here out of Warbio, and certainly something very interesting out of Velshire Vestige, and he just wants to get that good intel. He wants to know in a ZvZ what he has to deal with. Is he getting cheesed? Is he getting 6 pooled, 10 pooled? What's the story? Is it going to be a 14 hatch first? What's the case? And what he did scout was, of course, that a pool did go down, but double gas was not taken. And this kind of indicates to him that, okay, he's not worrying about early pressure because that gas has not been taken. So he's going to try and block this hatch from going down as long as humanly possible. And in doing so, he's going to have to just contend with the fact there's not much else he can do about it. Of course, he does have that drone, and if we do take a look, he is also going to expand himself. And in fact, he is going to expand, then take his pool. And he can do that. And the reason why is because he did, while he's doing his scouting, he's determining, okay, if there's no gas taken, which, by the way, is really, really good for him, then that allows him to, okay, I know I cannot worry too much about any speedling harass. Nothing's going to be coming crazy crazy fast across the map. I'm going to be in good shape. So with that knowledge, he's able to throw down that hatch, throw down the pool second, and of course take the gas. And it's not crazy greedy, of course. Actually, no, it is crazy greedy because the gas went down last. Basically, what he's saying is that I don't need the gas really, really quickly. I mean, if he wants to be a little bit more aggressive, he could go gas first and then go into the pool and then go on with that. So, all in all, it's nice. I guess it's a bit greedy. He's focusing on trying to get the economy in first. Units is kind of second, and then, of course, gas just means that he's not going to be crazy aggressive. That's the thing. He's focusing on getting the economy up first, and then the gas is last because he just doesn't need it right away. If we do take a look, of course, down at the bottom of the map, we do see Graphix, of course, has expanded, and he's got himself a queen up already up and running. In fact, he transitioned that one down from the, from his hatch up in his main, and of course spawned his own, and of course banging off the inject very, very quickly. And we do see a couple of lings, slow lings, of course, heading away across the map. We do see speed being researched here as well. Slight edge here for Graphix on the speed thing, but it's not huge. In fact, actually, both of them, no, I stand corrected. There it is. All right, so they're pretty close. In fact, they're bang on, both players, grabbing them both at exactly the same time. Bandling Nest, of course, going down, as well as Spine Crawlers. Trying to keep that queen clustered in that corner there, and the reason why is so that Zerglings can't get a good surround. They have to go all the way around to the left or all the way around to the right. Sorry, vice versa. Left, right, and... and that'll do it, of course, in this, we'll keep the queen a little bit alive a little bit longer. Of course, Spine Crawlers also helping with that duty as well. If we do take a look on the other side of the coin, Warbio feeling pretty good about it. Of course, he's going to get Bandling Nest of his own. Still continuing to saturate up that Vespine Geyser. And a queen of his own as well. But I should point out, he's not using any spines out here. And of course, a scout does get off fairly quickly by some lings. We do have a little bit of an engagement over here. A couple of lings doing a little bit of pokey, but not really going to get much else out of that. This is pretty calm at this particular point in time. Of course, both players are getting kind of defensively prepared. They're a little concerned about, okay, well, what's coming my way? Is it going to be a defensive game? Keeping these bandlings alive is going to be so important. Of course, speed has finished for both of these players. And this is where it's going to get a little bit chaotic here, guys and girls. And indeed, we do have a little bit of engagement, a couple of units getting a quick surround here. Of course, we do see the Warbio trying to get the bigger group kind of lined up here as well, and we're just going to bring up the units tab because it's a little bit easier to keep track of exactly what's going on. Warbio certainly has the Ling advantage, 32-12 currently, and that is actually pretty big, but of course 1 or 2 good Baneling hits will change things by quite a bit, and as you can see, more Banelings actually coming in here for Warbio as he's really committing to this aggression here. Of course, he's going to see that there's Banelings, and oh, 1 good Baneling hit, as you can see. He's going to lose almost all of his Lings. He's going to have to back right on up, but he does have 5 or 6 of his own Banes. He's just got to kind of get this engagement here as well. He's going to use one of these Banelings, I think, to try and detonate a couple more, but Graphix with that really good Baneling hit is going to be feeling really good about that, and that is exactly what he needed in order to stay in this game. And oh my gosh, everything is just so close as the dance back and forth. This is the Zerg versus Zerg dance you can see in almost every single game between these 2 top dog players as they're trying to really get that perfect engagement, get that synchronization of the units, you know, where everything is literally dancing the way they want to. Of course, he's spreading out all his units across the map here. Warbio not wanting anything to be too much clustered up, and then that way losing everything all in one kind of fell swoop as he's trying to do some other things. Of course, he's going to expand to take his 3rd very quickly here. He does have an Overlord over on the left-hand side of the map, so he will be able to spot here this engagement. Of course, speaking of engagements, there are Lings on Ling action, and a Bane does go down, popping it and taking care of it as well. But again, Warbio still not really kind of rebounding from that initial loss from those big hits, and of course he's going to continue to lose a couple more units. Nice Baneling hit, only catching about half of those Lings of Graphix, and Graphix ultimately is going to clean up a lot of these units on the other side of the map, but that one last Banelings is going to do the rest of the damage. So it's just a handful of Banes here, waddling their way across the map. One of the Banes here is going to get a hit. Of course, 1 Baneling hit does not kill off another Baneling very well. Indeed, you need 2. But we do have Lings moving the way around, as you can see. Of course, Warbio is trying to pull this into a bit of a macro game here, and certainly is looking very good. Economically, he's got lots and lots of units. You do see a Spire going down for Graphix, and that is going to be finishing up in just a moment here. And Air, a pretty good unit, especially in this particular situation. Of course, Ling's working away on that 3rd base here for Warbio, and desperately trying to shut it down. Of course, there are some Roaches showing on up, but that is not the right unit once that Spire is finished, which it has, and Mutalisks are going to come on out. Of course, Roaches do not shoot in the sky. Roach is a pretty good unit against these ground units, but this is going to be very interesting to see how Warbio is going to counter this by Graphix. I think once he sees these Mutalisks, he's going to be really struggling. He's going to have to throw down a lot of spores and to be able to deal with this, but that is a lot of Roaches working their way across the map, and unfortunately a couple of them are going to get caught here and surrounded, and of course more Roaches are going to engage these Lings. And again, I think he's just going to bring them all back, or at least a handful of them. But the Lings are going to catch these struggling units that are, well, rallying across the map. And that'll do it in a big GG, and Warbio is going to concede victory, and Graphix is going to take game number 2.